Welcome to BIGtalk, a series of power talks by industry and thought leaders that inspire progress and unlock innovation. BIGtalk, unlocking the next big thing.
You may have heard that we use 10% of our brains, but I'm convinced that the average person uses far less than that. In our brains, we have about 4 billion nerves, and those 4 billion nerves are used to do a whole bunch of things. Used to move, used to talk, used to converse, used to look, used to touch, used to think. And the human brain has the capacity to fit 4 A-level subjects on one nerve. Did you know that? So you only need one nerve in your brain to pass your A-levels. And we have 4 billion of these things up there. So that means we use 1/4 billionth of our mind, at least to pass exams. But the question is, why aren't we using more of our brains? What could possibly happen if we could tap into more of that potential? How do we bring out those valuable ideas from our minds and convert them into something tangible that we can use to create great things? The topic of tonight is, what is the next big thing? And I'm going to be talking about mining the imagination. I want you to picture the concept of mining. I first of all want to figure out who was the first guy who got into mining? And what made him think, let me start mining? How can I dig 200 meters underground and find gold or find diamonds? Who does that? Who decides that they want to just dig up and 200 or 1 kilometer underneath the ground, they're going to find something there? Well, some people say, yeah, that's me, but I don't think anyone would want to do that. Now let's go back in time, long ago. The first guy who came across mining, I'm pretty sure that he must have been walking and he saw something in the ground, maybe it was shiny, and he picked it up and thought, wow, this is nice. Maybe there's a little bit of gold. And he thought, well, I need to find more of this stuff. It looks valuable. Maybe I can sell it. And he started finding stuff on the surface, more and more stuff on the surface, and then that stuff ran out. And then he decided, well, let me try and go a little bit deeper. But then he came across a problem. It was hard to dig. Then there were rocks, then there were other things underground, and it was hard for him to go even deeper. Then he came to the idea that, well, let me try and get something like a machine or get something to try and penetrate these rocks and go even deeper. And basically this is the concept of mining. Now we know today that as these big machines, excavators, all these amazing things that can dig and get right underground and extract diamonds, extract gold, extract valuable minerals. But what about our minds? Tonight I'm talking about mining our imagination. Most of the time, when somebody starts a business or starts an idea, we always start at surface level. If you want to open up a business today, I can guarantee it might be one of these 4 things. It could be a car sale. It could be a hardware shop. It could be a boutique. Or it could be a supermarket. These are surface level kinds of ideas that it's easy to find on the surface, but these things aren't valuable enough. Anyone can do that. But it's only those few that when they go deeper, they can get close to those diamonds and gold. We need to break out of the similar kind of thinking patterns and get into this journey of discovery. Now I want to share with you 3 crazy ideas. I'm pretty known for my crazy ideas, especially regarding toilets. If any of you have attended anything that I've ever had to share on creative ideas, I have to share on the idea of a toilet. But I'll come to my second point. The first point is about renewable clothes. Couldn't that be the next big thing? Imagine you don't have to wash your clothes anymore. Imagine you wear these clothes every day and you wake up to go to work the next day and you don't have to wash them. And they smell fresh and they smell clean and they automatically get rid of the creases and you've got these things called renewable clothes. Wouldn't that be a good idea? Would you like to use something like that? We don't have to buy.
And still smell fresh.
And still smell fresh. Can you imagine if, when the technology gets even better than that it could even wash your body and like have scrubbers and like your palm olive on the inside, but you don't have to do any of that. You just have to be there. Put on these renewable clothes, self-washing clothes, and it takes care of you. That's my first idea. So my second idea is about the toilet. I wanted to save that one for last, but I'll throw it in now. What if there was a thing known as a smart toilet? A lot of you are thinking, what could a smart toilet be? Now this is the concept, and this is the idea of a smart toilet. Imagine when you go to the toilet, and that precious thing lands inside the bowl, and automatically your doctor gets information on how this toilet has deciphered what's inside there according to the state of your health. And then the next day you get a report from the doctor to say, I think you need to come for a checkup. Wouldn't that be so convenient? Instead of saying, I feel sick, the doctor will already notify you that you need to come and see him without you feeling worse symptoms. You already see the trend of what's going on here. But it gets even better than that. Imagine the boss of your company. He is now made aware. If you seem to have the runs this morning, the boss gets an automatic where your imagination is able to work. We are too busy as a nation. We are too busy as a people. We are too busy as a world where it's always Facebook, it's always Twitter, it's always Instagram, it's always all these things keeping us busy that we can't imagine anything. We can only imagine the things that are already there. Albert Einstein says that imagination is better than knowledge. Why do we need knowledge? Google is there with all the knowledge. Why can't it create anything? It's got no imagination. That's the difference between computers and us. We have imagination. It's an incredible gift that we have. But the thing with imagination is you don't need to know how it's possible. You don't need to know how you're going to create this device. All you need to know is and believe that it is possible. We need to operate out of our imagination and not our memory. If we keep looking back at the things that have happened in our lives, we will not be able to forecast the future. If we keep focusing on the past, we will not believe that we can achieve anything. But if we believe that we can achieve what hasn't happened yet, that's when we get into the greatest part of our imagination. And as I finish tonight, what I want to say is, there's one question you need to ask yourself to activate that imagination. 2 words. These 2 words are the words, what if? If you say to yourself, what if, the next thing that follows from there is going to come out of your imagination. Shall we try that? What if I could fly? What if I could swim underwater without a scuba kit? What if I could invent a device that would allow me to get from here to around in 5 minutes? Those 2 words, what if, is going to get you straight into your imagination. And when you begin to use your imagination, who knows what you can create? And I believe that the next big thing for Bulawayo is people unlocking that incredible imagination that they have. Already there's maybe 40, 50 people in this room. What if we combine these ideas together, my incredible ideas and your incredible ideas, and somehow we can collaborate, and somehow we can create a place where we can take these ideas and do something that is going to change this world? What if we started that tomorrow? What is going to stop us from changing the world and creating amazing things? But if we self-doubt, if we have self-doubt, and we say, he's talking about imagination, I've got a bad imagination, we're not going to get to that deeper place. If we have fear, fear is going to cripple that ability for us to get into that deeper place of our imagination. And I can guarantee you now that if you can get into your imaginative space and allow yourself to dream, separate yourself from the ways of of the typical day-to-day life of survival mode. Because we're not going to get to the next big thing in survival mode. It's not going to happen. It's going to get there in imaginative mode. And I want to encourage us tonight. Let's begin to tap into that imagination. Let's begin to dare ourselves. Dare ourselves to dream bigger than we've ever dreamed before. Dare ourselves to think of ideas that scare us. That when we wake up, we're waking up with a purpose that is far greater than we could have ever imagined we were put on this earth for. What if we woke up tomorrow and we decided there was something better than a hardware store, something better than a supermarket? Those are just easy ideas, but those aren't valuable ideas. The valuable ideas are going to come from entertaining our imagination. Thank you.
You've been watching Big Talk, a series of power talks by industry and thought leaders that inspire progress and unlock innovation. Big Talk, unlocking the next big thing.